anything around here. Doesn't really look like it. Plenty of books, though. Plenty of books. Can't really see anything outside. Do have a note here. Letter regarding the discovery of an orb to my most trusted student and friend, Johann Weyer. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling through the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I have been looking for this last 20-odd years. It is as inexplicable as the Heliodramus, I guess, described it in the Hortus Conculus, or Concusus, something like that. It was as it was told about an underground Mithriac temple crowned with the unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hands, and the texture was smooth and jagged. Its color washed while rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within the stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Altstadt, investigating one of the antiquated trails, when I finally found the cavern. I went inside, and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They were real. As you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it has also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts and fetch the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber and into the woods. I could sense something was following me. It bayed loudly as it closed in. The beast, this guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to a nearby ravine, where I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but fortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, I felt such a tremendous sense of relief, thinking I would be spared. Suddenly, a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the colors of the forest were washed away before my eyes. I kept running through the bleak surroundings. The trees had turned charcoal black with the leaves of cinder, the ground covered in murky water. I pressed on through the drenched land as the glowing ember gave way to the rising wind and rained on me. I could hear pleading screams in the distance, and I joined in as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. This certainly must sound strange, but I had been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The guardian had taken the orb from me, but still, until this day, I fear its return. Sometimes I lay awake at night, listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It has been nearly a decade since that day, and I still haven't been able to write about the incident. The last time we spoke, you told me about your interest and ongoing research into the mythic orbs, and I realized I owed you the truth about my visit to Altstadt. Your friend and mentor, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. Interesting. Anything of use over here? Doesn't really look like it. It's a strange looking book cover. There are sure a lot of religious looking artifacts around here suddenly. Lots of them. I feel as if they're here to throw me off of the true trail of whatever this is, whatever this might be. I fear I don't understand enough to really make a judgment as of yet what I am really up against, or what I'm looking for, or why I'm even here, and why I'm going towards this strange noise, barking. It sounds like a dog being strangled. It's kind of creepy. Speaking of dogs. We have some sort of note here. Animal experiment. Ah, no wonder it sounds like there's something going on. Anyway, Canis lupus familiaris. 1658, April 12th. After a short study, it is clear that the agitation found among humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain induce stress, which seems to trigger an endogenous response, causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe that the catalyst is produced in the brain. It is difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There is an inherent problem in harvesting this energy, since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems that only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. It might be their ability to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments their experience of terror. Well, whoever wrote that is kind of creepy. Looks like they chopped a dog head off. Poor doggy. Okay, I've had enough looking at that. Chambers of the human skull. Interesting. Milestones of human anatomy. Understanding balance. Canine jaw. This is some kind of scientist or doctor researching all of this. Obviously this dog has been cut up at one point. That's kind of disturbing. Did he use a shovel to chop its head off? Ah, what an asshole. Bird of some sort. Is there anything I can do with it? No.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw, but I can sense it.
What an ass.
It's definitely there.
Well, that was rather disturbing. Ugh. All right then, let's move along. I've had more than enough of this room. Is this the man who was doing that? Some sort of note here. Well, before we take a look at that note, let's look around. That is a creepy statue. Very creepy statue. A bunch of quills. Some sort of placemat. I'm not sure what that is. Could be part of a journal, I'm not sure. Nothing here. Book. Nothing useful in the fire. Another weird statue. Let's see if there's anything in these drawers. No. Yes. And no. How about this? Yeah. I'm suddenly beginning to understand why so many humans were brought here, with him trying to search for some sort of energy. How am I doing? Just a slight headache. I'm okay so far. Something on that windowsill. Just a book. Not a useful one. Anatomy Frontiers, 1658, January 9. Further disappointment. The antiquarian's latest findings yielded nothing. I'm still unable to grasp the inner workings of the life and its relation to the power I sense within. I shall pursue more books on the subject, but I suspect it will be in vain. Since no research has been made in my particular interest, I must attempt to fill the void myself. Clearly, humans emanate more of the energy I seek, but I hope animals will suffice, as they prove less of a hassle to acquire. Ugh. This guy definitely is rather creepy. And I'm liking him less and less and less. Well, if I find this Alexander, he's provided me quite a bit so far in relation to wanting to murder him, as was mentioned in the letter to myself. What is that?